We're living in a world where ideas move faster than ever. Prism AI is built for that world. It's an intelligent platform designed to help turn complex thoughts into clear, creative outcomes. Whether you're exploring new ideas, solving problems, or creating something meaningful, Prism AI works quietly in the background, enhancing your potential, not replacing it. No steep learning curves, no overwhelm, just clarity, focus, and smarter creativity. Prism AI isn't about doing more, it's about seeing possibilities more clearly.
Hey everyone, and welcome! Have you ever looked at how fast technology is moving and wondered why scientific progress sometimes feels like it's stuck in the slow lane? Well, you're not the only one. Today we're diving into a new tool from OpenAI that's designed to fix exactly that. It's called Prism, and it's got a pretty bold goal: to completely change how science gets done by putting AI at the very heart of the research process. So this is the core idea OpenAI is going after. We're in the middle of this incredible AI revolution, right? Things are advancing at a dizzying pace, and yet the actual day-to-day tools that scientists and researchers rely on, honestly, they haven't really evolved in decades. And that creates this massive bottleneck, holding back the very progress these brilliant minds are trying to make. And that bottleneck, you could call it the research workflow mess. It's this clunky, disjointed, and honestly, super frustrating process that researchers have to deal with every single day, trying to stitch together their work from like a dozen different apps. I mean, just look at a typical workflow. You might be drafting some ideas in one app, then you have to jump over to a web browser to hunt down papers, then you switch to a totally separate program to manage all your citations, and finally, you try to pull it all together in a complex tool like LaTeX. It's just a constant, jarring context switch. This analogy just nails it, doesn't it? Imagine the sheer inefficiency of it. The loss of focus, the wasted time, that constant frustration of running between all these different kitchens just to get one thing done. This is the daily reality for so many researchers, and it's a huge drag on deep, focused work.
So, what if you could bring all those scattered ingredients into a single, super smart kitchen? Well, that's pretty much the whole idea behind OpenAI's solution. Let's talk about Prism.
So what is Prism? In a nutshell, it's an all-in-one, totally integrated workspace for scientists. It's built from the ground up to be AI native, which is a fancy way of saying the AI isn't just an add-on, it's woven into everything you do. And the engine behind it all is GPT 5.2, a model OpenAI has specifically trained to get the complex logic and language of scientific research. Now, what's really smart is how they built this thing. Prism isn't starting from zero. OpenAI actually went out and acquired a company called Crixit, which had a really solid cloud-based LaTeX platform that researchers already knew and trusted. So they took that strong foundation and then just supercharged it with their own world-class AI. All right, so that's the big picture. But what does it actually feel like to use this thing? Let's get into the features that really make this whole unified workflow possible.
The AI assistant inside Prism is pretty incredible. You can just chat with it to brainstorm, ask it to help you draft entire sections while understanding the full context of your paper, and get this, you can even tell it to go search for relevant research on places like Archive and then pull it right into your work.
And this quote right here, this is the key differentiator. The AI in Prism doesn't just see a bunch of words on a page. It actually understands the structure, how your equations, your figures, and your citations all connect to each other. That deep understanding is what makes it a genuinely useful assistant, not just a chatbot. And check this out. For anyone who has ever lost hours of their life trying to code a complex equation in LaTeX, this is an absolute game changer. You can literally just snap a photo of a whiteboard, and Prism will turn it into perfectly clean, ready-to-use LaTeX code. That alone is just wow. Think of the time saved. And that seamless flow goes way beyond just the AI. You get real-time collaboration that feels just like working in a Google Doc. There are even optional voice commands for making quick edits. And maybe most importantly, the AI can make its suggestions and changes right there in the document, not in some annoying separate chat window. This focus on making teamwork easy is a huge part of Prism's whole mission. It's really designed to tear down the barriers that get in the way, not just for one person, but for entire research teams. And this is a really big deal. Prism lets you have unlimited collaborators on any project. There are no seat limits, no restrictive payment tiers that so often get in the way of teamwork, especially for those huge international projects or labs that don't have a ton of funding.
Okay, now for the part that's probably going to surprise you the most, the price. For all of these core features we've been talking about, the cost is zero. Nothing. Prism is completely free to use for anyone with a ChatGPT account, which just smashes a massive financial barrier for researchers everywhere. So why on earth would they make it free? Well, OpenAI's stated mission is pretty simple. They want to democratize science. The idea is that by making these powerful tools available to everyone, they can empower more researchers from all sorts of backgrounds and institutions to really contribute and be a part of the scientific conversation.
So if the old way of doing things created a bottleneck, what happens when a tool like Prism comes along and just unclogs it? Let's put this all into perspective and think about what this could mean for the future of science itself.
OpenAI is drawing a really powerful parallel here. They're basically saying, look, just like 2025 was the year AI completely upended software development, 2026 could be the year AI starts to truly accelerate scientific discovery. And it all starts by fixing the broken foundational tools that researchers have been stuck with for so long.
And that brings us to this final, really provocative thought. When you remove all that friction, when you boost collaboration, when you put a truly intelligent assistant right inside the workflow, are we actually watching the very first steps of the next great scientific revolution? It's a pretty wild question to think about.